Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another Transformers Prime reaction for you guys. This is Season 2, Episode 15. Of course, we'll not know the title until I get into the episode. They better show us what the hell happened to Bulkhead, because the end of last episode, overall, pretty solid episode of the show. The main highlight of last week's episode was, of course, Soundwave. Awesome to see that character. We hardly see him. We got to see a lot of him last episode. It was really cool to see that. But the ending showed Bulkhead coming through a portal and crashing and just laying there. He's not dead, but what the hell happened? And presumably, based on the episodes and how they've kind of ran, this is going to be the fourth artifact. And because we did see Bulkhead, I think it was episode 2, so the one before this one, which at last week, which was episode 3 of this whole arc thing with the artifacts and everything, we saw Bulkhead run through a portal for a brief second. So clearly he's running somewhere. I guess we're going to find out where. So without further ado, I'm just going to get into it because I'm ready to get into this episode, because I'm like thinking, what happened to Bulkhead? Like, obviously something crazy happened. What exactly happened? So because he's all by himself, presumably. I don't know if anyone else shows up, who knows, but based on where everyone else kind of was in terms of the timeline of events we've kind of seen unfold, he's by himself. We'll see what happens. So without further ado, let's get into now. Let's go.
Who is the fiercest among you?
There is no greater ferocity than an Insecticon hive, but hard shell.
You will retrieve
They can talk?
something for me.
Hold up. I didn't realize Insecticons can talk. They have not spoken until this very moment. We've seen Insecticons for a while now. Now all of a sudden they can talk? Okay. Alright. Oh boy.
Take care of him, Nico.
Oh. So we're showing how everyone splits off.
Bulkhead, Raphael, and Agent Fowler will be your communications and transportation hub.
Again, that's cheeseburger.
I thought he ran, not walked, when he was... Okay, anyways, that seemed like a continuity error, because he was running in that one shot. He's going to fight a bunch of Insecticons. This is not going to go well. Oh, he's up.
Need coffee.
But something's coming.
The Insecticons. Damn, okay, right into it. That yell.
You know a thing or two about dirty work yourself, Wrecker.
Do I know you?
Uh-oh. Okay, that's not good. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, that armor, man. They had some sort of armor that doesn't do anything. Oh, shit. Alright, there you go. There's more Insecticons, so it's not that easy.
The virus is coding.
How was your beauty sleep?
Fine.
It was great.
I finally got a little respect from you.
He's probably just more pissed now.
The Wrecker left me alive.
It's right there. Is that it? Alright. Careful,
Got the
man.
lid off.
What is it?
I found the relic. It's a cache of energon.
That's good, right?
Toxin causes nausea and
What?
dizziness upon contact.
Uh-oh.
Prolonged exposure weakens us to the point of paralysis.
So it's like a poison or something. Alright.
Well, what are you talking to me for?
During the war for Cybertron, Megatron figured out a way to refine raw toxin, turn
okay.
it into a weapon of mass destruction. Even if we had a safe place to store it, the stuff's way too potent to risk exposing to the rest of us. I'll call you back.
There.
Yeah. Damn. There you go.
I thought that stuff was toxic.
Dude, what?
It is. But I needed to put some distance between me and the bugs. I'm gonna lob it into the volcano.
What about your insect?
I mean, go for it. Yeah, why not?
This isn't my first time eluding an enemy patrol, you know.
Toxin.
Exactly how much is in your possession?
None, my lord. You're moving away from the volcano?
Exactly.
Why?
Yes. The Wrecker leaks from his wounds.
You're gonna drive. Okay, he's gonna drive it.
To Falls Trail, huh?
Next, you're gonna tell me your mother doesn't tuck you in at night.
He's getting tired.
I require access to a research facility at my current
Ah, the
coordinates.
phone call.
Let me
Yep.
make a call.
He's struggling. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
A dirty job
Yeah, it
that
is.
only a Wrecker can do.
Our satellites have detected dangerous solar flare activity. I need that entire station evacuated immediately. Do
Immediately.
you hear me? How you holding up?
Not good. He's struggling right now.
Bulkhead!
He's out,
Answer me,
dude.
you rust bucket.
He's out.
I can't do it.
I
It's
do
too
not
much.
want to hear that kind of talk.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You know as well as I do, there's the mission. And the
There's
reason
the mission.
why you take the mission.
Give him that pep talk.
I'm protected.
I'm protected. Oh, having fun, yep.
Miko?
Miko? The way he said that. Miko?
I have to get you out of here.
One of the best episodes for Miko was that
I know
episode.
somewhere inside you always remember me.
I gotta dig deep.
Dig deep, man.
To the other bots.
Yes.
There is no logic to his movements. His trail
You're
is
falling
meant
for
to
it.
lead us astray.
He finally made it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Throw it, man. Throw it.
What in the Sam Hill? I'm in the middle of a crisis here, and you
I
want
remember
me
this.
to...
It's that guy.
Wrecker.
Oh, no. Worst timing ever. I knew it was going to happen, though. Yeah, there's multiple, man. Yeah. I just looked at it.
Fair warning.
Wow.
I'm contagious.
Damn, okay. He's doing pretty decent for being slow as hell.
This is Special Agent William Fowler of the United States government. You are hereby deputized as an honorary agent for the Department of...
It's a slow fight now. Damn.
You read me.
Come on, man. You got this.
Come here.
Raphael, you are a genius.
Will you keep it down?
Oh. Shit. All right. Catch. Yeah, you'll catch it. Okay, it's gone. It's good. Good. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. It's gonna cut here, too, I'm guessing. Wait for it. Wait. Yes, of course. And there you have it. And they do answer the question of what happened to Bulkhead, but of course it ends the same way the last episode ended, with Bulkhead laying in, the base or whatever, and he's presumably dead. He's not dead, but he's badly injured. He's knocked out, basically. So we end in the same spot, essentially. We see what happened to Bulkhead. Now, I will say, this episode mostly was connecting the dots of like certain events happening in previous episodes, which really wasn't happening too much, but a little bit in them. But since this was the final one in terms of an artifact and everything, and like the fourth episode and the whole artifact kind of arc they're doing, they had a lot more of like tying into different elements where Fowler is calling up for Optimus Prime, then he's talking to Miko because that one guy knew about, the Autobots and Decepticons, so he made him an honorary, like, special whatever. So we got to see a lot of those connections, and then, of course, we had freaking Ratchet showing up and saying, Raph, you're a genius for the code or whatever that he did. All of that tying into this stuff, because the Bulkhead portion of this episode would not have fit a full episode runtime, because, yes, we had Hardshell, which we'll get to in a second in terms of, like, a talking Insecticon, like, and then Decepticons following him, and this whole thing of Toxin, this, like, really bad substance that was used, I guess, in the war on Cybertron and everything, which I like how they're still finding ways to introduce new elements and stuff that were used during that war, because we had heard about all these different fights and stuff and the whole, like, breakout of the war and everything on Cybertron. Now we have this new element of, like, well, Megatron and everything, they were using Toxin basically to wipe out, Autobots and shit. Like, it's pretty crazy. So the Bulkhead portion could not have filled out the whole runtime, so they structured it, and I think it's pretty smart, to where we're tying in and showing how Fowler's kind of interconnected to all of the other storylines, or some of the other storylines, and then having that timeline-wise make it fit into the Bulkhead portion, where he's talking with Bulkhead, hold on, Bulkhead, talk to Prime, then talk to Miko, like, so it was making sense. Now, Insecticons. We have seen the Insecticons, and I even said this when I paused the video. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a talking Insecticon now? Because they've never spoke. But I think the thinking is, okay, well, not all of them do. Most of them don't. They just make a noise. Like that noise whenever they're running and shit, yelling. Hardshell, however, was a different looking Insecticon. He had like different like color scheme and like looked like some sort of like scratches or something. Like he stood out as a different kind of Insecticon that could talk. And he's run, I guess, across other Autobots and Wreckers specifically, as he referenced that to Bulkhead. And so, interesting that we're still finding ways to make some adjustments and changes, because if it was just Insecticons that had no speaking role that were sent by Megatron, the episode would have still worked, but at least we had somebody who has a connection in terms of not so much Bulkhead as a Wrecker, but other Wreckers, and how that kind of ties in, like, I've seen your kind before. And, you know, the whole, and he's not dead, obviously, because I thought, okay, like, it did burn up. The Toxin did get burned up by Bulkhead in the lava, but of course, Hardshell, which I feel like we're going to see this character again. Who knows? Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. Who knows? But interesting that they brought in a talking Insecticon that kind of changed up the storyline a little bit. Now, Bulkhead. I've not really said this too much because I guess I've never really sat down and actually talked about the individual characters besides the kid characters in this show, or like the, you know, the human characters. I've not really talked specifically about the actual bot characters, like in terms of how I feel about them and kind of where I stand in terms of like ranking it, who I like more and all that. I would say Bulkhead, I don't know. I don't think he's like my least favorite bot of the Autobots, but he's definitely not like Optimus or RC or Bumblebee. I think him and Ratchet are kind of on that same level in terms of they're fine. They're pretty solid. They have some good moments, but prefer other bots over them too. But I think Bulkhead, they're really focusing on his past from being a Wrecker and how he's kind of not so much changed his mindset, but more so his kind of approach and what pushes him, what drives him. So the whole speech with Fowler that gave to him, he's like, hey, like he's like completely losing it. He's like almost passed out. Like the toxin's really getting to him. And he has all these flashbacks of things he was doing to protect the Autobots, protect himself, protect, you know, humanity from Decepticons and evil and everything. And then he thinks on Miko and how that is a significant driving force. And going to the episode, and I'm glad that they showed a lot of flashbacks of like, there's been a lot of stuff has happened in this show. But Miko's sitting there trying to pull the rocks while he's holding up that giant, like the ceiling or whatever in the cave. Miko trying to pull those rocks and everything, trying to save him. It's honestly the best episode for Miko. And that's a character that I think out of all three of the human kid characters, she's the worst in my opinion. But that was like a standout moment. And that's something to him that he really cares about is Miko, like his connection to her. He has a deep bond with Miko. So that really helped him push and motivate him to get to the finish line with destroying this Toxin. So it was really cool to see how they use flashback elements to make the point like really hit home for Bulkhead to continue to push forward. Now, even though I am frustrated that we end the same way we end last week's episode in terms of Bulkhead laying down flat, presumably knocked out, really badly damaged. Is he going to live? He's going to live, but they're putting that kind of stakes into it. Even though I am frustrated, we ended the same way twice in 2 weeks. However, now that we've already gotten past the 4 kind of episode arc in terms of what they're doing in terms of the artifacts and how they're splitting off, now we get to see the aftermath of all of this, right? We get to see the aftermath of where they had failures, where they had successes, and what happens moving forward, right? Because my biggest question is Toxin ever going to make a return? That's a big question I have, because now they've introduced this pretty significant element into this world that is pretty dangerous. Like we saw the effects on Insecticons because of how there was a grenade explosion on one piece and then he's throwing, you know, that other piece of Toxin on other Insecticons and shit. So it's like, okay, so are they ever going to bring this back into play? But my biggest question is what is going to happen to Starscream? Because he has this unbreakable armor. My theory, because I've been thinking about it since that episode, because that episode with Optimus Prime and everything was really good. I think Starscream he's gonna be fighting both Decepticons and Autobots. Not so much they're gonna team up, because I'm thinking back on season 1 where you had Megatron team up with the Autobots to go on against oh god, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name now. But yeah, I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, You know who I'm talking about. I'm forgetting the name top of my head. I really apologize. I really have forgotten what the name is. Now that I've thought about it, now I have to go look what the name is, because it's gonna bother me to no end, because I don't remember what the name of the villain was for the end of season 1. Let's see. That doesn't tell me a name. No, it doesn't tell me a name either. I'm trying to find the name. I want to know what it's going to bother me until I find it. Unicron. Couldn't think of the name, sorry. But Unicron, there was a team up element. I don't know if that's on the same level of this, but Starscream in that unbreakable armor is pretty dangerous. Like, how are they going to stop him? So they might have to team up. They might have to find a way to work together to take out Starscream. Because Starscream is not a Decepticon. He's not an Autobot, clearly. So he is on his own. So that's what I was trying to get to. Sorry for taking so long to get to Unicron, but that was the name. Like, what's the name? I couldn't remember. But overall, had a pretty good time with this episode overall. And I liked what they did with the flashbacks and everything, and working in the other elements of storylines that were happening at the same time and making it cohesively make sense in terms of the plot and the timeline of events occurring. Pretty good stuff there. So we'll see what happens next week's episode. Of course, Bulkhead's not dead, so that's fine. I'm not worried about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.